Whether it's bombast
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay?
or bluster,
I would bomb the out of them.
one thing is certain. Donald Trump does not mince words on the campaign trail.
He said he's
Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is a reaction to Donald Trump's most ridiculous lines. This is Donald Trump's most pointed and inflammatory comments. In my opinion, this is the best president the United States ever had. Donald Trump is helping the world to be better. Leave in the comments what your opinion is about him and who you think was the best world president in the USA has ever had.
That's terrible. Terrible.
Trump repeating a vulgar word shouted by a woman in reference to Ted Cruz earlier this month.
It would be worse.
Or using a crude Yiddish word to describe Hillary Clinton's loss to Barack Obama in 2008.
And she got schlonged. She lost.
And Trump doesn't limit his attacks to rivals. He levels some tough talk at a protester Monday night in Las Vegas.
I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
Trump, fully aware of the force behind his words.
It's amazing. You know, whenever I want to knock out a protester, I just talk about the wall. The place goes crazy. Nobody ever hears the protest.
Trump's coarse language has been a hallmark of the real estate mogul's campaign since the day he announced his candidacy, using charged rhetoric talking about undocumented Mexican immigrants entering the U.S.
They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists. Yes. And some, I assume, are good people.
Such comments might have tripped up other
Protect us USA, Donald Trump, protect us.
candidates, but Trump's inflammatory rhetoric hasn't seemed to hurt
I think this is a great man, and great man.
him with Republican voters.
He's not a politician. He owes nobody. And I know he's brash and can sound rude, but he's saying the things that we want to hear.
He's the favorite to win the Nevada caucuses tonight, which would give him a third victory in a row.
I can be more politically correct than anybody that you've ever interviewed.
Should Trump go on to win in November, he says a President Trump will sound different.
I can act differently for different people. But we don't have time to be totally politically correct in this country. Our country's in serious, serious trouble.
I think the second video is a crazy video. Look what he think.
You, not you. Your organization's terrible.
No you.
Your organization's terrible. Let's go. Go ahead. Quiet. Go ahead. She's asking a question. Don't be rude. Don't be rude. Don't be rude. No, I'm not going to give you a question. I'm not going to give you a question. You are fake news.
Are you going to
You're
include the
fake
Congressional
news.
Black
That's
Caucus
crazy, man.
and the Congressional
Well, I
Hispanic
would.
Caucus,
I tell you what. Do you want to
as
set
well
up
as
the
on
meeting?
city-
Do you want to
You are fake news.
set up the meeting?
No.
Are they friends of
I'm
yours?
Just a reporter.
No, set up the meeting.
I know some of them, but I'm sure
Let's
they're
go.
watching
Set up
right
a
now.
meeting. I would love to meet with the Black Caucus. I think it's great.
And we had the most beautiful piece of chocolate cake that you've ever seen. And
What
President
the
Xi
fuck is this, man?
was enjoying it. And I was given the message from the generals that the ships are locked and loaded.
Look, he's a showboat. He's a grandstander. The FBI has been in turmoil. You know that. I know that. And I love all people, rich or poor. But in those particular positions, I just don't want a poor person. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? This is a long time ago. Sold his company for a tremendous amount of money. And he went out and bought a big yacht. And he had a very interesting life. I won't go any more than that because you're Boy Scout, so I'm not going to tell you what he did. Should I tell you? Should I
Yes,
tell
tell
you?
me.
Oh, you're Boy Scouts, but you know life. You know life. North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen. This egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides. On many sides. I think there's blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it, but you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. We will have no choice but to totally destroy North Korea. Rocket Man is on a suicide mission for himself and for his regime. Now, I hate to tell you, Puerto Rico, but you've thrown our budget a little out of whack. We are also praying for the people of Puerto Rico.
Puerto
We
Rico.
love Puerto Rico.
Puerto.
It's got to be in tip-top shape. As bad as that hurricane was, and that was a bad one, that was a big water job, right? It kept coming in and going back. They couldn't get rid of it. We have a representative in Congress who they say was here a long time ago.
Yes.
They call her Pocahontas. Little rocket man, rocket fuel for the American economy. He is a sick puppy. Nobody respects women more than Donald Trump. That I can tell you.
She gets out and she starts asking me all sorts of ridiculous questions. And, you know, you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever.
Donald Trump said the following about you, quote, "Look at that face. Would anyone vote for that? Can you imagine that, the face of our next president?" Mr. Trump later said he was talking about your persona, not your appearance. Please feel free to respond what you think about his persona.
You know, it's interesting to me, Mr. Trump said that he heard Mr. Bush very clearly and what Mr. Bush said. I think women all over this country heard very clearly what Mr. Trump said.
She's going to beat Obama. I don't know who'd be worse. I don't know. How does it get worse? But she was going to beat, she was favored to win, and she got schlonged, she lost.
Targeting almost 70% of that vote. Jeff Bush I know by now that most of the things that Donald Trump says have no basis in reality. So we are not really.
It's Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren. Is it offensive? You tell me. Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry about that. Pocahontas? And Pocahontas is not happy. She's not happy. She's the worst. Pocahontas! It's Pocahontas! I said, I'd like to apologize to Pocahontas.
Isn't at least owning that that's what we're doing.
For this later.
You've often talked about Hillary Clinton's stamina.
Right.
You've even said she doesn't look presidential.
I really do believe that.
But what do you mean by that?
Well, I just don't think she has a presidential look.
Upside down, so you've got the Republican cozying up to the evil empire and the Democrat cozying up to Goldman Sachs. Well, you've got a Democrat as the Republican nominee.
Somebody who's been very vicious to me, Rosie O'Donnell. I said very tough things to her, and I think everybody would agree that she deserves it, and nobody feels sorry for her.
Yes, has sex tape.
Take a look. You take a look. Look at her. Look at her words. You tell me what you think. I don't think so. I don't think so. I was sitting with him on an airplane, and he went after me on the plane. Yeah, I'm going to go after him. Believe me, she would not be my first choice, that I can tell you.
My Social Security payroll contribution will go up, as will Donald's, assuming he can't figure out how to get out of it. But what we want to do is to replenish the Social Security Trust Fund.
The events never happened. Never. All of these liars will be sued after the election is over.
You'll have plenty of those
That was a
Democrats
promise.
coming over, and you're going to say, no, sir, no, thank you. No, ma'am, perhaps, ma'am. It may be Pocahontas. Remember that.
How do you overcome that when someone like Senator Warren, Elizabeth Warren, literally says people are going to die because of President Trump's health care bill?
Well, I actually think she's a hopeless case. I call her Pocahontas, and that's an insult to Pocahontas.
We have all of this beautiful Irish press. Where are you from?
I'm from RT News.
RT. Oh, good. Katrina Perry. She has a nice smile on her face, so I bet she treats you well.
My opinion and what I think about his statements. Donald Trump is a controversial figure, known for his direct and often aggressive statements, but his impact on American politics is undeniable. I will build a great wall, and nobody builds walls better than me. Statements like this show his combative style, unafraid to challenge the establishment. We will make America great again. Trump brought a nationalist and populist discourse that resonated with millions of Americans. He is not afraid to say what he thinks, and that made him a strong voice against traditional politics. They are not after me. They are after you. I'm just in the way. His strong words divided opinions, but also inspired loyalty among his supporters. He created jobs, strengthened the economy, and challenged the media like no other president. History will judge his presidency, but one thing is certain: Donald Trump changed the United States forever. This is my opinion on his statements. I believe that while they are often aggressive, they also reflect his straightforward and bold approach to leadership. His words have mobilized people, created controversy, and left a lasting impact on American politics.